Hi there. How are you? Ralph Harris again. Let me ask you a question. Do you have some thoughts about Easter? Let me ask you something about that. When Jesus was on the cross, where were you right at that moment? If we think of Jesus as going to the cross by himself, we have a sort of discounted Easter. We don't have everything, all of it, and we really need to. While enduring the awful human torment and shame of carrying a cross through the streets of Jerusalem and then on out to Calvary and on the edge of the city, Jesus, God himself, knew exactly what was before him. And through the pain, he was absolutely overjoyed. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 2 says, "Let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who, for the joy set before him, endured the cross, scorning its shame, and sat down at the right hand of the throne of God." Seemingly all alone in his tortured trek through town and the many people lining the streets, Jesus held an amazing, fantastic secret. He was taking all of them with him. They thought they were onlookers to a tragedy. He knew that they were participants, not just in the cause, but in the act itself. An incredible, miraculous, retroactive, and future fact of Easter is that Jesus' faithfulness to the cross was the initial act of bringing to an end one creation, darkened, stumbling, sin-frustrated mankind, and of making another, a glory-sharing, innocent, and holy new race. That was his joy, and now it is ours. On the cross, and knowing what was coming in 3 days, Jesus reached for you in the crowd in the past, the crowd right in front of him, and the crowd in the future, where you and I were. And he accomplished God's timeless desire, union with his people. He didn't simply hold you close, he brought you in. Jesus removed what hindered us and brought us into himself, where there can be no distance, not ever, no transgression, and no fault, making us safe and secure with him who loves us perfectly. Romans 6 verse 6 says, "For we know that our old self was crucified with him, so that the body ruled by sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves to sin." And Ephesians chapter 2 verse 6 says, "And God raised us up with Christ and seated us with him in the heavenly realms in Christ Jesus." Why? In order that in the coming ages, in other words, on and on and on, he might show the incomparable riches of his grace expressed in his kindness to us in Christ Jesus. He's going to be bragging on this for a long time. When Jesus rose and fairly strutted out of the tomb, which is how I picture it, he was full, and he was full of joy. We were in him, and he was joyously satisfied, just as he planned. Happy Easter.